Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." God has called us to be a light to the city of Fort Collins, and we have been praying and we have been dreaming, and we know God has given us a vision to see a church planting movement through reaching the next generation in Colorado and beyond. For over a year now, Andrew and I and many others have been praying that God would raise up laborers, just like Luke 10:2 says, and we have been blown away. We have seen God answer that prayer with over 100 people saying yes to being part of the core team to help launch this new church. And we are so excited. On August 16th, it's going to be the Sunday where we finally get to gather together. And we couldn't be more excited to gather together to launch our Sunday morning core team gathering. So August 16th, we're going to be right here at City Park, shelter number 7, just northwest of CSU's campus in the heart of the city.
Now, in light of launching our gatherings in a park and in the midst of a global pandemic, we wanted to give you guys a visual of what you can expect when you show up, what the gathering is going to look like, and we also wanted to address some concerns that you guys might be having about COVID-19. So here's what you guys can expect. You're going to show up at City Park, Shelter 7, and on the south side of the park along the road, there's going to be plenty of parking for you guys. So go ahead and park there, and as you approach our gathering space, just south of the baseball fields, there's going to be welcome signs and flags, and we're going to be there greeting you guys. Then, starting at 9 a.m., we're going to have breakfast ready and provided for you as we build relationships and grow together as a spiritual family. So we're providing breakfast for everybody to minimize the spread of germs, and we're doing everything that we can to ensure the safety and the health of everybody. Now, underneath the shelter behind me, there's going to be about 20 tables that seat about 6 people each for us to gather, share a meal, and worship together. But if you'd feel more comfortable, go ahead and bring a lawn chair. There's going to be plenty of space in the grassy area around the shelter for you guys to spread out and feel maybe a little bit more comfortable. So the beautiful thing about meeting outside is that there's going to be plenty of space for us to socially distance. Then after breakfast, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., we're going to worship King Jesus together through musical worship. We're going to dive into God's Word and look at our core values. We're going to equip one another on what it looks like to live on mission and to actually be the church. Now, additionally, Citylight Kids is going to be providing kids ministry from infants up through 5 years old. Now, we could not be more excited to finally gather together as a core team to launch this new church in Fort Collins. And we are crazy encouraged that the church isn't a building, but it's a people with a purpose. And amidst everything that's going on in the world right now, King Jesus is still building his church. He's pushing back darkness, and he is transforming lives by the power of his gospel.
Finally, as we do launch our gatherings outside in light of COVID, here's what we would ask of you. We know that there are a lot of different perspectives that surround the pandemic, but we would just ask that everyone approach this with a posture of humility. Everyone has been impacted in different ways, and so we can agree to disagree on certain things, but there's not going to be any judgment on either side. There's no judgment for those that wear a mask and don't wear a mask. Because we're outside, we're not requiring them, and we're following all of the guidelines under the local health department and under the order of the governor together as a church, and we have plenty of space to social distance out here at the park. Additionally, we're going to be providing masks. We're going to have plenty of hand sanitizer, and obviously if you're sick or if you're at risk, we would ask you to stay home. Our desire is to meet everybody where they're at, and so if that's you or if you don't feel comfortable gathering in person, the good news is we're going to be live streaming from outside from 10 to 11 a.m. And so we would invite you to tune in on Facebook and YouTube on those respective pages. We know that this is a challenging time, but we also understand that God's mission is unchanging, and we must continue to move forward in faith to take new ground for the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Now, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world, and a city set on a hill cannot be hidden." So we want to bring the light of the gospel to the city of Fort Collins while simultaneously caring for the health of our community. So with that in mind, we want you to join us on August 16th at 9 a.m. at City Park, Shelter 7 to help us launch this new church in Fort Collins. Now, we know that this is a crazy time to be planning a church, but we believe that God is calling us to move forward in faith as we trust Him in these uncertain times. And we invite you to join us in this core team to see King Jesus be made famous in Colorado and beyond.